Awesome. All right, guys. So we are obviously here in the Redwood Rally booth. I want to say thank you to Heather and Jesse for like welcoming us into this. This is it's really been cool. You guys have an amazing booth here. On the video that folks are going to watch later in the week, because we're going to go home and rest for a couple days and then start editing this down. You guys have a really cool setup here. You have a really cool car in here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But we're here to talk about this because you guys put on one of the first events that we've seen in California in a very, very long time. That was really cool. We're going to talk about 2023 and then obviously 2024 and what's coming up, what the plan is, and what you learned last year, what you learned here. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, this is going to be way shorter than the long format when you guys were on the show before. So yeah, so we're going to heckle people as they come by. So if you haven't done it yet, you need to come by and see Redwood Rally. You guys are outside the Green Hall, right across from Street Outlaws, which I'm sure this place has been crazy all weekend. Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of folks coming by. But what is your booth?
She can't see where
She has told me that so many times.
7183.
That's right. So 7183, you got to come by here because this is probably one of the coolest trophies. I mean, it's definitely top two, maybe top one trophy in all of drag. It's really, really neat. Tons of character in that. And I think people, as you move forward, are sad that they may have missed 2023 that are not going to miss 2024 and the future.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of skepticism, but next year the FOMO will be.
There is a lot of FOMO right now. People are the photos that came from your event in 2023 were some of the best that were taken in the whole thing, and that was the biggest deal when you and I were talking, kind of in Messenger. It was like this route that we're taking is like none other that you've seen. So, and I would say from the photos I saw, that is 100% correct.
Yeah, it was quite the
It's hard to
experience.
explain because the photos were. It's even better in person.
Oh, yeah.
Great, but it is.
I still haven't even seen it.
We've been
I see
so
a new
busy.
one here and a new one there. I'm like, where'd that come from? That's
Yeah.
awesome. And, I guess the one that's the most memorable, it's funny because when I wanted to do it, I had this very specific idea of how I wanted a photo taken at Samoa, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got the drag strip, you've got the beach, you've got the ocean, and we wanted a drone to do it. And once we started trying to assemble the cars, it was a little bit of a mess. And I was like, what are we doing? This isn't going to work.
No, I didn't think it was going to work. I'm just like,
it just seemed like a mess. And then once it got done, it's like, wow.
and everybody wants that photo. Everyone wants that drone footage. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's start the show. Where can people find all of that content? Where's your social stuff? All that?
okay, so our socials, everything's just under Redwood Rally. You can find everything at www.redwoodrally.com. We have our merch on there. We have links to
Yes, like that rocking hat.
Oh, this one.
Yes.
Just for the website. That's me.
Nice. Yeah, I'm ordering one of those. Ordering one. It's really cool.
Well, we will have rules for 2024 updated very soon on the website.
Awesome.
We're still kind of working out a few little quirks with categories.
Yeah.
The category stuff is basically being tailored to match what was asked for us.
Yeah.
We're going to add a gasser class.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of folks are excited about that.
We're going to change the format of our American Graffiti a little bit because now we're going to make sure that the interior cars are going to be with full interior cars. And anybody that's got a chassis car with even a small tire, it's going to have like a chassis tire class. So it's almost going to be like a, what do we call it? Call it less limited or slightly limited. It's a small tire deal.
Yes.
And then we've got unlimited big tire deal. You're holding an unlimited trophy right there.
Yeah.
Let's, tell us about that.
Yeah, so we run obviously lists within the drag and drive community, and the national 275 plus 8th mile, which you guys, most of your fast stuff and everything is 8th mile racing, which is cool. We're going to talk about kind of your format because we use part of that format in our event coming up in April. So love the way you do that. But this is for Shane. He is the second fastest 275 or larger 8th mile racer in all of drag and drive in national level events, which means 4 days or more, and more than 2,087 people raced in that, and he is the second place.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Watching that car, we also ran on tracks that were a little bit smaller, not corporate tracks, more small town tracks, right? And to watch that car go down some of the surfaces we were on, it was a blast. You know, everybody,
And then the tires switch over to get back.
Yeah. Watching him in Coos Bay is very short track. You see him go like 460 something. I've asked Drake before. So what do you think you see like some rider go 460? He's pucker. Full pucker back there. Because it's short and it's straight uphill and just Shane dominated.
Yes, that's awesome.
So cool that someone from our
yes, made the list.
Yeah.
Because what happens is like a new event will typically come in and it's like the folks that are hardcore and have done it for a really long time. Shane's been on several, like he's been on several of these tracks. He just went out and just dominated.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and to be in this level, low 5-second average. I don't remember if it's a 5.1 or a 5.07 for him, but to do that on now you're saying marginal tracks, man, I can't imagine what it would be like on stuff that's. Yes,
And I think his quickest was like a 452.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was
getting down.
He was real fast on his quickest passes.
Wow.
And then obviously the marginal tracks he had to tune it down a
Yeah.
little bit. But it's pretty amazing that you see the track surfaces that they have. It's not that they're bad; they're just not the same as the big corporate tracks that have a lot of money, a lot of equipment, everything put into them.
A lot of times we talk about like it's almost like a test and tune style prep because you really have all the tires. Like you guys, I don't know if you guys you'll need to let us know. Do you allow hard tires or is it just racing season?
Well, this past one we allowed everything, and next year we're going to still allow the hard tires, and we are going to make sure that they line up in the lane 7, so they can do their deal. And then if we need to stop and prep for 10 minutes again, so we get the tires. And that's just another thing that the learning curve, right?
Yeah.
We learned so much.
And we didn't learn it at the racetrack. We learned it in the restaurants.
Yes.
We did our deal with the track, and then we went and hung out with the racers every night in the bars, the restaurants, whatever, hanging out, just getting feedback, and then integrating it into the program the next day. And it just kept on getting better and better. That's actually
Restaurants, but then a week later, they're going to go home and rest a little bit. We host a driver's meeting online. We're like, okay, guys. Obviously, we heard all the good stuff. And we still asked them, what worked really well? What did you appreciate about this event that maybe you haven't seen in another event, or just what worked well? Obviously, you like hearing that. The big question was, where can we improve? Like, we want feedback for you for the reasons we want to improve. Just a great thing. We can't do that unless
And unless we want to give you honest answers, and I think the way you guys approach the entire thing works very well. You have a private Facebook group where you updated a lot of the day-to-day stuff. There's a lot of ways that people could find that info, and it was very quick and easy. And you guys did a great job of that. Because what happens a lot of times we see is that people will show up, they go to do their event, and then nobody knows where to go. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows where the hangout is that night. That's one thing that you guys did a really, really good job of. And that is probably coming from you being social media, and then you coming from like a racing background and understanding all that stuff. So it's really good. I want to talk about this crazy trophy and how this thing came about. Congratulations to Shane one more time. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, we did the full Drag and Drive Awards yesterday at 11 a.m. live stream. You'll find it on YouTube. Drag and Drive Awards. So yeah, tell us about this trophy, because I'm telling you, this right here, people are going to fight over this. This is going to be something that's going to be hard.
This was all testing. I have to give him all the credit on this idea. And
well, we had an idea of doing this style trophy or that style trophy. And I've got a guy that does some really nice laser printing and metal.
Yeah.
So we thought about that route. And then it just kind of dawned on me. There's a trophy they use at Samoa Drag Strip that they basically, it's their once or twice a year deal. It's very coveted. They call it the Redwood Wally.
Oh.
And it's a redwood tree with a tire on it. It looks like an NHRA Wally, but it's a redwood deal. How cool. And so, you know what? It's nothing better than to do something out of redwood, right? So I called Kathy at Samoa, and I said, Kathy, would you mind if we use something similar to your redwood Wally, but I don't want to copy it. Don't want to
take away from it.
Yes, take away. And she said, no, I think it'll be great. So we changed the design up a little bit. We did had the platform done here. Plaques done. Next year I know we're going to do them a little bit nicer as well. But this is like legit old growth redwood. The guy that cuts these has to go out and find logs that you can't actually log that redwood anymore. So he's got to go find logs that are falling down the middle of the forest. They did. It took about 3 months to get them. And
So,
But it's something that
and not only give, he's got he's got a, like, that's
Yeah.
made.
that's
you know,
all hand
Yeah.
chainsaw.
No
and-
two will ever look exactly.
How cool.
Yeah, so trying to be original with something that's at least we hit the mark on that.
Well, and again, we go back to we saw a huge growth in events in 2023. We're going to see it again. We're expecting 40 plus events for 2023 across the world. That's not just across the world. So, events are moving out your way. We're seeing some stuff in like Canada and things like that that are getting close. We got Big Sky coming to Montana. So, like, I think it's going to be good because now we have an opportunity for these guys and girls that have been, like, I'm not going to say left out because they could have gone, but guys, you know what it's like. You made the trip across the country to get here. It's hard to do that. It's hard to be gone for 10 or 12 days. If you live in California and want to do this, now you have an opportunity to do it. And Northern California is beautiful. I've never been, but it's definitely on my list. I'm trying to work out to be there for 2024.
Yes.
So we're gonna see. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to fly in and ride with somebody. So that's
We can make that happen.
yeah. David Sigmund has already said he would let me ride with him. I love that guy. He's super cool. So yeah, it's on the list. We're trying to make those, figure out when we can get Eric to events and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I don't know, but it's definitely it's high on the list for sure because you guys put on a great event. So we talked about 2023. What's kind of coming for 2024? We talked about a little bit of changes, things like that. You had a class, gastro class, but let's talk about not DYO. What do you call it?
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. Yes. So we call ours you versus you. Yep. So when I saw your format for that, I love that. So what you guys essentially do, kind of walk us through how you set your base time, because that's probably the hardest part for events to sort out. And I love the way you guys did it. And we're actually copying it almost 100%. We're changing a few things for the circuit that we do, the regional.
So my background, I'm a hardcore bracket racer, right? So your own category, as it's called in many of the formats. I didn't quite like the way that was done. At one event that I ran before, I said, you know what, I think I can improve on it. So what we did was we decided you're going to turn in your 2 time slips. Now this year it's going to be different. We're only doing 1 slip per day. Ooh, cool. Now, day 1, those the mind over matter guys are going to have to make 2 passes because they need to set their index and then they need to turn in a slip. So what you do is, and it doesn't have to be in chronological order, you choose the slip you want. If you get a chance, let's say, to make 5 runs that day, and your first run is a 11 flat, right? And then you go 11:02, 11:07, 11:07, 11:15. You can choose whatever slip you want. That sets your index for the entire event. So the guy would say, I'm going to take my 11:07, and then I'm going to turn in today my 11:07. So he's in a tight window. Then at the next day, he only 1 slip. So at the end of the whole deal, you've got 5 slips that have to be as close to the index as possible. And whoever's the most consistent and has the smallest margin over that index throughout the entire event, that's your winner. Now, if you go under your index, let's say 11:07 is that number, right? And he goes to a track and he just can't slow the car down. He goes 11 flat. Well, there's 7 hundredths there, plus a penalty of 2.5 tenths. Wow. You get penalized for going under your index. It's a bracket style format. But anyway, I came up with that, and I think it worked really, really well.
It's really cool because we're sitting, like, our event last year, I didn't know enough of because we were asking people what right, and they were basically giving us their fastest pass minus 100 so they could have. Well, we run 2 passes a day because ours is a weekend event, so we turn in 2 passes each day, 3 days. So for us, when I saw that, I was like, that'll make my job way easier because now I can do that. Well, you guys had an 8-mile day, so you use their 8-mile time for
On that the 1 slip that they turn in for the index, the 8th mile counted for the 8th mile track, and the 1/4 mile counted for the 1/4 mile track. And what I tried to explain to people during registration day check-in, right, was, listen, you're at one of the fastest tracks right now. So don't go out there and try to turn the earth today, because you might not be able to go fast enough later. I try to explain to people, and this is just kind of a heads up to everybody, Go out on day one, sandbag a little bit, find that sweet spot so you can go to the next track and make sure that you can run it.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to sandbag like this. Tune up, weight. There's all sorts of ways you can make that work. And the other cool thing is if you can fit 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 runs in one day, you choose the slip you want to turn into. So a lot of guys are one and done even in the mind over matter class, but you don't have to.
Well, and I think that's one thing that's a lot of fun for drag racers is like you can make one pass and enjoy it. Like you can do this for the fun, but then the really competitive teams that want to make those big passes, 10 passes a day, Zach Stevens makes 17 passes.
Oh my gosh.
So like you end up like with those guys that want to be, he had a 12:009 average, 5 days and or 4 days at 8 passes. Insane, but it takes this kind of laps to get
there. It really caters to the people who are there just for that.
So last year with our car count, we required 2 time slips per day because we had 137 at check-in, right? If they did one and done, we had spectators coming, more spectators than we expected, especially for middle of the week stuff, right? Yeah. We didn't want those spectators to take a day off work, get off work early and come out, and then a bunch of one and done guys run. There's nothing wrong with one and done, but a bunch of them run. And by noon, 3/4 of the cars are on the road to the next track. So that's why we required 2. That way, it stuck around longer, our spectators came out, they gave us their order money, and we gave them something to watch until 4 p.m., 5 p.m., whatever it was. So this year, we're planning on increasing from 183 entries last year, we have 33 sponsors and 150 public entries, to 280. Wow. The sign up age is a maximum of 280. Now, we know there's a threshold of no-shows.
Yep.
So we really hope to have 200 cars on rubber.
Wow, that's great. And that's probably in line with what we're seeing across the country. One thing that I did notice when I was going through your data and stuff is you guys had a lot of new people. So like this worked. I mean, it really did work. It allowed people to come into the sport and find this community because you're hosting an event that has not been hosted in that part of the country. I don't remember, I guess.
One of the really fun ones was the Condos family out of Wyoming.
Oh my God. How many cars?
I know I think they brought 9.
Yeah, they had 8 or 9.
And I know they've done drag and drives all over. And their whole drag and drive thing revolves around other ones. And I know they've done other ones, but they were all about coming and seeing the ocean. And so that was a blast. I think one thing we'll put out there for registration wise, right? For the people that have been, that were in 2023.
Yep.
We're going to make sure that they get a chance to be guaranteed into 2024. However, we're not going to do it the way that some events do it.
Yep.
We don't want to just hold that 137 spots and wait. So what we're going to do is when sign up comes, we don't have an exact sign up date set yet, but probably 2 weeks before public sign up, all of the racers that checked in are going to have like an hour-long window to check in, to get registered. If they get registered in that window, they're locked in. If they don't, they mess up and they forget or something, then they have to try to get on the public before it sells out. We sold out last year in 10 minutes. So we think, I mean, everybody watches and they're on the group, keep pretty tight. Right? So I think everybody's going to jump in. We can make that window a little longer. That's up to us. We tell them what we decided on future years.
Because here's the one thing, they'll be in our booth tomorrow, and we'll be talking about some of this stuff too, but with more detail.
One thing that we're trying to get figured out and definitely compromise on is we don't want an event that's always full of the people that did it one time and get that grandfather clause, and it really limits the public side of it. But we've come to something that will work for the long term.
Well, and I think to do that, you've almost got to close some of that early registration, that window. It can't be
exactly.
a big long
That's
time.
why we're not saying, here's what we're saying, hey, you still have to work for a little bit, but value, you as a participant. Thank you for believing in us. I mean, it was our first year. No one knew how this was going to go, and these guys showed up. And I mean, luckily it went really, really well. But they didn't know that. They didn't know what was going to happen. So, like, we appreciate them for.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about social media side too, because that's what like that's your world, right? So, do you even have any idea how many posts for the 2020?
No, and and I wanted to do more, but like so much connected that we do too that people still know about. Like, so much organizing and just website type stuff. But I wanted to do more. And I don't know how many I did. Do you know?
It was a lot. It was a lot. No, heck no, I didn't. I wasn't gonna spend hours counting how many posts, but it was a lot, and that's what it takes. Like for these promoters that come out, we see it all the time. Hey, we're gonna have an event in August. Perfect. And it's 3 days later they're opening registration.
Yeah.
Like it takes months. It takes months to put that in, and then also like you did a great job of like once people were signing up to still keep posting, keeping that content coming. And I think it probably stirred a lot of people up, like trying to figure out how they were going to do it.
There was a lot of people that were like, why are you still posting about this? Registration's already over with. I can't get in. I was like, yeah, but we still want to spread the word.
Yeah. We want people foaming at the mouth. You did a great job with that. I mean, it was amazing to watch, like, just the growth in there. And obviously, I mean, I would like to think that the success you guys saw with that event is going to spur more events. Obviously, Big Sky came this next time. So, like, were they waiting to see how well you guys did? I would think so. That was probably a big catalyst in what they were looking at. And you guys did amazing. It's definitely you guys have done an amazing job. It's a checklist. This was the book of how to do that.
I really think, though, one of the keys to our success was all started with a massive failure. We had a payment problem between software and bank where they capture the information from cards.
Something wasn't connecting and reading properly.
And so people kept clicking the button over and over. We had one guy who actually did take all his payments. He paid 5 times.
Oh man!
So then we had to go back, refund obviously, but out of all of the people that and all that glitch right there, I had to call about 140 phone calls, individual phone calls to say, hey, sorry this happened. Your spot is absolutely locked in. But I didn't get your payment. I need to take it. Or I'm sorry your credit card just got charged $1,500.
Yeah, we're putting it back on, but I'm telling you it's coming.
What was cool was I actually spoke to almost every one of our racers on the phone. And like I said, that was being able to meet them and talk to them and then know that like we're not ignoring our issues. That was really good to be able to have those conversations. Then they had my number. They were calling me personally and texting me. I tell everybody, just text me. You text me, I'll answer any. Phone calls are a little harder, but I was able to have one-on-one communication with any racer that wanted. And that's the part that really helped us out. So I'm not kidding. It was a massive failure that led to our success.
Yeah, because like at that point, people already had talked to you. They knew your voice. They knew like they had a little bit of rapport leading into that. Yep. It wasn't just there wasn't behind the scenes posting being made.
Right.
We were told by a lot of racers, especially for our first year, like our communication, I guess was a lot better than most of it.
Yeah. And we've been admittedly a little slow right now, but it's leading up to this, the PRI side. Once we get through this and this is behind us, then our communication opens back up. Emails start coming, the sponsorship stuff that will be coming in here and coming in other places. And we got random people requesting, how do I sponsor? I don't even know if I run the event. How do I sponsor? And I have to keep telling them, just sit tight. I'll get it to you in a week or two.
Get your PRI.
Hey, listen, we've had that conversation a lot. Like, please just give me a couple of days.
Yeah.
But it's going well.
That's awesome. Well, you guys have an amazing booth, guys. Again, 7178, 7183. 7183. We were close. Yeah, 7183. You got to come by here. PRI 2023. It's really cool. The car that's behind us is really awesome. And so, do you want to talk a little bit about why it's here?
Sure. So, 2019, I went to Australia, did Street Machine Drag Challenge.
Yeah.
Met tons of Australians over there. Jamie Farmer actually brought me over from the youth, and met tons of Australians there. Had a big friend group at that point. Went there this year for NPK, met a whole bunch more. Met this guy Luke Kessel. Came back home from the Street Outlaws deal, and he needed to kickstart getting this project done.
Nice.
So I went back in July, did a bunch of carbon work, did a bunch of fat work on this, and the more we got to talking, so he actually owns a suspension company in Australia called Motorfab. He's like got locked down on the leaf spring suspension world in Australia. You know what I mean? So he dominates that that part of the industry. He wants to expand over here. The market in America is 15, 20 times larger than the market in Australia. So right now on site, he's here on holiday. I'm now an official dealer because there's a visa thing that all works out. So he's here on vacation. I'm taking care of all this. So I'm a dealer for Motorfab, and it's working out really well. It's got a lot of traffic coming through here. And we've got a 69 Camaro kit right here. It's fully bolt on, very similar to the Caltrac stuff. It really is. But there's some other integration and design stuff that kind of is different. I'm not gonna stand here and tell anybody something's better than somebody else's stuff, but you do some research on what we got going on here, and you watch the Street Outlaws Australia versus America Asian farm truck deal. Luke ran his Monaro, they call it the junkyard Monaro. Thing looks like an absolute pile on the outside, yes, but the car works well, and it created a huge amount of exposure for Motorfab, and it's time to do some things over here. It's a lot of fun. So that's the other goal too, is it's going to run some small tire stuff, maybe some street stuff, hopefully some TV show stuff, and ultimately we want to make sure it gets over here and does a rally also. Yes. They don't get to drive cars like this on the street in Australia. The restrictions are so tight over there that you have to, the modification restrictions are crazy. And there's awesome drag and drive events over there. Yeah. And guys get away with a little bit, but to have this on the street over here is going to be a blast.
Oh man, yeah, they're going to be able to hang out and do what they wanted to do with it the whole time. So let's give people a teaser for tomorrow morning. Okay. What are we gonna, can we release some dates tomorrow? You think we can maybe talk about some dates and tracks tomorrow?
I'll toss the dates out right now.
Oh yeah,
some details right now, and we'll do tracks also.
Okay.
So we have to
big
get the
big news, right? This is breaking.
We've been needing to get these dates out because I know there's certain people that have to be able to put in for vacation a year in advance. So September 17th through the 21st are the 5 race days.
Yes, awesome.
Monday, September 16th will be early check-in day, registration day.
We're talking about possibly
a testing tune. Cool. Then we'll race Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're gonna start in Medford, Oregon.
Medford is home track.
Wow. Okay.
This next deal might swap, but it's gonna be Medford, Samoa. We're going back to Coos Bay.
Going back to Coos Bay. That was the big one. Oh my gosh, everyone wanted to go back.
We thought, we didn't want to cut Coos Bay out, but it's got some difficult parking, and if it's wet, there's mud there, so that gets a little difficult. So we made a decision. We asked.
And we thought for sure they were going to say, hey,
let's figure something else out. Everybody was like, Coos Bay's not everybody, but most Coos Bay's my favorite. We have to. And it's cool because it really throws a tuner aspect to it. Yep. So Medford, Samoa, Coos Bay, we're going to Woodburn. We're going to finish back in Medford again. And then, so that's going to be our 5 days, 4 tracks. We are possibly talking about doing a non-rally, small tire, big tire shootout on Sunday. So it'll be part of the event, but it won't have anything to do with event statistics. And there's a couple reasons we want to do that. It's one, I really like the Tuesday through Saturday format because we finish on Saturday. People that want to get home and not take another day off work can drive home Sunday and get to work on Monday. That way, they take 1 week off of work and they don't have to extend it to the next week. But we got a lot of spectators that wish that we were racing more weekends. It's hard to race Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. People at work. So Friday, Saturday, they get there, they show up. Everybody asks, you racing tomorrow? You racing tomorrow? They all want to see racing on Sunday. Now, and the other thing that's cool about the shootout deal, we'll open it to anybody that rolls in the gate.
Oh man, yeah, that's great.
You know,
That's great. So like you can take these first. So again, we talk about community growth all the time.
Yep.
That is the kind of stuff that it takes to do that because like those folks that participated in the event, let's say they perform really well. Well, now this guy's got a race only car. He's like, I mean, I can change a few things to go drag and drop racing and have way more fun. Put 1,000 miles on this car in a week instead of 1,000 miles a year.
well, and then Big Hat Racing, I'll just put them out there. They wanted to sponsor a shootout last year, but we didn't want to try to squeeze a shootout in on our race days because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So we're going to hit up Big Hat and see if they want to help sponsor a shootout this year. If they want to sponsor a shootout, we plan on doing a shootout on Sunday. We're kicking the idea. It's not set in stone,
Right.
but we get some sponsors to do big tire, small tire shootout on Sunday after the rally, open to anybody that wants to show up. I'm thinking right now we're doing no time test hit for everybody and then chip draw.
Oh
Every round.
yes, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So again, you can find all of this stuff. Your social is great. Facebook, Instagram,
I've been so busy during
YouTube,
PRI that
TikTok. I mean, you're everywhere on that.
social
So
hasn't been great during PRI.
well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this, but you're busy. But Redwood Rally, search for that, and then redwoodrally.com. Yep. So follow all of that stuff. You can follow Jesse Adams, Heather Nichols on all those channels as well. But I would think like most of our folks are wanting to see some Dragon Cup stuff. So Redwood Rally, search it up, look at it. So, all right. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for letting us hang out here for a little bit. I hope we haven't taken you away from folks that are walking by. But if you are in here in PRI, please come by right now because we're going to be here for another probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to be heckling people as they come by.
Good deal. We'll do it tomorrow in your booth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. 11:30 at our booth. 11.
11.
What time do we? Yeah,
You told me
11.
11.
11
I was
tomorrow
like-
at our booth. We're going to do this all again. We're going to talk more in depth about the event and things coming up in 2024.
Awesome.
What do you
Thank
want to check out right here? You want to check out this Toronto?
I mean, while they're live, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I didn't know if you're going to have to live. What you doing?
No, we won't be heckling live.
Oh,
Yeah, this car's cool. Right-hand drive. Tell us a little bit about the setup here.
it's a 1972 Holden LJ Toronto.
Nice.
Everybody walks over, thinks it's an Opel or a
Yeah.
Sprite or a, there's another one that they think it is, but it's a Holden. It's Australian built, right-hand steer, strut front end, 4-link rear end. It's got a little bit of a medium tire on it right now, but it's going to run small tire.
Wow.
This is Luke Kessel's car. We finished that. We came back and brought it, picked it up at the port in Long Beach.
Yes.
Drug it to my house. We worked on it for about 4 days or so, 18 hours a day before hauling all the way out here.
Wow.
So it's cool to be able to collab our booth.
Mhm.
You know, we're able to kind of share some things and make the
Yep.
booth space bigger.
Yep.
If we were stuck in a little 10 by 10,
Listen, it's
tough.
hard, man. It's
But-
hard. We've lived in a 10 by 10 this weekend. It's
Uh,
rough.
I'll tell you one thing that's wild is the amount of money spent on some of the displays out there.
Oof.
It's intimidating.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
some just amazing displays here
Oh,
at
yeah.
PRI.
Amazing.
And we're pretty happy with ours though.
Yeah,
Really,
dude, it
we
looks
are.
great. You kidding me? You got a cool car. You got great backdrops. You got all kinds of neat people walking by. This is a cool spot.
Got good helpers. We got, Jessica Miller. She was part of our staff at the Redwood Rally.
Nice.
So Jessica and Justin and Haley, they came out. They're out here. They're doing a little bit of trying to drum up some stuff for Haley in the junior dragster world.
Nice.
But they're also here just to help. I mean, we've got great volunteers and everything's been awesome.
That's cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. Again, tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock at our booth. Sweet. Dude,